Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up, good pictures. We've had another cobia caught in local waters, so we'll be showing a picture of that later. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Listen, it's going to be like a repeat of yesterday. High today, 75, low 59. We've had a pretty week so far. We hope it continues. Water temperature is up to 64 degrees, and that's a good sign. I keep telling y'all, we're right on the verge of things kicking off. Not quite yet, but right on the verge of it. The river readings, they're at flood stage. They're both of them at flood stage. That place cold at Bluntstown is at a 16.3 this morning. The Choctawhatchee at Carrotville is at a 12.4. Both our rivers are in flood stage, and we just have had a lot of rain, and it's just a situation where you got to be real careful. The thing about it, getting on the river on high water, you really got to take it slow and easy and watch out for the floating logs and all kind of debris and all. You just can't go fast on this high water because all kinds of things come out of the woods on the river. So be careful if you go out this weekend. Now take a look at our tide chart. Brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is when carrying counts. We have a high tide at 12:15 today and a low tide at 10:13. Get some good tidal flow. Our marine forecast south-southeast at 10 to 15 today, so it'll be blowing a little bit. So be careful if you're on a small boat out in open waters. All right, each Wednesday we'd like to talk to Captain Blair Morgan of Blue Water Outriggers to get a report from down there on the eastern end of our viewing area. Good morning, Blair.
Good morning, Wilson. How you doing?
I'm doing well, buddy. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
Well, tell us what's going on down there, buddy.
Well, we finally got some pretty weather, and the Spanish showed up out here in the bay, and we catch a lot of them on the wall over by the marina, and catching a few trout out here around Black's Island, but on the most part of the short right now. There's no real big ones out there. And, of course, you know, you can troll up down the beaches and catch the Spanish out there right offshore and on the buoy line off the Mexico Beach. So there's a lot of stuff starting to come around right now.
Yeah, I guess I talked to 2 or 3 people down there, including you. We just still haven't had that pompano run yet, have we?
No, we haven't. We haven't near it just yet.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll come next week or two. Hopefully, usually it's about April, about the middle of April down there.
Yeah, it should. Water temperature and all, get just right, and the water's beautiful, out there off the beach.
Yeah.
Everything is right for it.
Okay. Well, Blair, that's a good report. I know right now we're on the verge of things happening, and you just keep us informed of everything down there, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, thank you. That's Captain Blair Morgan representing Blue Water Outriggers. A great place to shop. Don't forget, now this weekend there's a big sale. We're going to talk about that later on at Blue Water Outriggers. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back with our guest. Welcome back, and welcome Captain Rick Corley.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rick. We were talking about some stuff last night about the show and all, and you were excited about we've got an upcoming workshop conference and all.
Yeah, we got a seminar that's being sponsored by Legendary Marine over in Destin, and it's American Boat and Yacht Council's Marine System Certification course. It's going to be a 4-day class. At the end, you're given a test, a 200-question test. However, you do get to use your reference material just like you would if you were in the field, but it is a proctored test, and you can use a calculator. You have to bring your own number 2 pencil. But it's real important from the standpoint the Coast Guard defers to ABYC as the expert in this particular field on smaller vessels under 100 gross tons. It's much easier. The reason they did that, if you go to the Code of Federal Regulations and you have to make a change because they've found something that works better, it takes nearly 8 years because it's a congressional act, and to try to get congressmen, we've already seen what happens there. Trying to get all the congressmen to agree on anything, they can't even agree on time of day. But so they defer to ABYC because they meet Their board meets every few months, and they can change it within 6 months if necessary.
And that stands for ABYC, American Boat and Yacht Council.
That's
okay.
correct. Yeah.
All right.
And they're going to have this on May the 5th through the 8th of this year. Starts at 8:30 daily. Finishes usually about 4 in the afternoon. And they cover 21 different ABYC items in the book. It's a great big book. I should have brought it, but I didn't think about that.
But it covers some things like the water systems,
Right.
The tanks, the plumbing, the electrical installation, all
wastewater, all of that stuff is covered. Refrigeration, air conditioning, hydraulics, any gas cylinders such as LP and CNG type gas setups. If you're a repair facility, you should have some of your lead people qualified to this, because if you don't and you have a problem and they go into court and find out that you don't have anybody that knows anything about ABYC in there, you're in trouble, because you pretty much can't say you're really qualified. And, trial lawyers love that when you're not qualified. I'm sending Yates, my new young partner here. He's going to be there. And I probably am going to take it again just so that I keep up, because you forget stuff over time. In fact, at my age, you forget a lot over time. But taking the course is not cheap. It's if you're a member, it's $885 for the 4 days. If you're not a member, it's $1,170. Now, to be a member of ABYC, they can contact S. Brown at abycincorporated.org. It's abycinc@.org. And that's Sandy Brown. That's S. Brown, that's what she's got.
Now, could someone, could they take it even if they're not a member, of course?
That's correct.
And they just have a big boat, just want to learn more.
Yeah, and like I say, if you're in a repair facility and you're a supervisor, you ought to have this, because it will keep you probably from being really hung out to dry if you had to go to court on something, because you then would be a certified technician, and it's real important. It's just like me being a surveyor. Anybody can be a surveyor, but if you go to court and you're not NAMS CMS or SAMS AMS, you're going to have a problem, because lawyers love it. They're going to clean you up on one side down the other.
All right, and this is going to be over here in Destin, right?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Emerald Grand, that big condo right there by the bridge. Great location. It really is, and they can, of course, get rooms there, and they're not regularly hotel rooms, they're condos, so they have 2 and 3 bedrooms. So if a couple of you wanted to bunk up together and save some money, you can. I mean, that's doable.
That's about a month away.
Yep, it'll be on the 5th through the 8th of May, and the last day to sign up is on my birthday. April 24th is the last day you can sign up. So you got another, 24 days.
All right. All right, that sounds good. We'll keep you posted on that, too, as time goes along, all right? Let's take this break. We'll come back with those pictures. Hi, welcome back. Sitting with Captain Rick Corley. This segment, I always like to do some pictures. We get them on a daily basis. Thank all of y'all for sharing them. And we're going to start off now with some, we've seen a lot of these pictures. They continue coming in. This bag right here of sheephead and Spanish mackerel, they just selected the ones they wanted. They released a lot of them. This is Tyler Robinson and his dad, Jeff Robinson. And that was a good, that's just enough to eat and feed a good group of people. And they released the rest of them. Good job, guys. Okay, don't forget now, I just mentioned earlier, the Blue Water tent sale, like I say, is up to 70% off the retail. And it's going to be under the tent. They put out a parking lot down there. That is this weekend, folks, April the 4th and 5th. Starts at 6 o'clock local time and goes to 5 o'clock. That's Eastern time now. And they got fishing gear, shoes, apparel, and Rick Murphy's going to be there on a seminar on Saturday. All right, so we'll talk more about that as the week goes on, but just be aware of it. All right, here it is, folks. The second cobia. We got 2 pictures of it. We got a picture of them holding it vertically, and then we got it horizontal. And these boys are really proud. That's a good-looking group there. It's a 40-pounder. And the guys in that picture now are August Redding, Ashton Lewis, and Ryan Huggins. Those boys right there, they're good fishermen. I know them, and that's a 40-pounder. Good job, fellas. That's the second reported one of the year, of the spring right there. Good job there. And check this out. Again, that's the same azalea bush, the same hunter, but it's different turkey. That's Ken's second gobbler. He is finished for the year. But that's a nice gobbler. Had a 10-inch beard, 1-inch spurs, and you remember the last picture he had, the tail feathers were sort of picked out a little bit, but this is a good one. And Ken's had a really good year with his deer hunting and his turkey hunting. Good job, Ken. And his eyes are still blooming. There's just a picture sent to us. This is coming from Tennessee, from one of our viewers up there, Bobby Graham. Y'all remember Bobby Graham? He's from here. I mean, fish here on the pier a lot, but he just moved up there to live close to his son. And he just has some game pictures up there in Tennessee woods and off his game camera. He wanted to share with us. Bobby is going to be coming back down soon, but he has some sandhill cranes. He wanted that was in his pictures in the game camera there. You don't see a lot of those, but a game camera now. We talk about all kind of pictures, and you keep that game camera up all year and just get fascinated with all the things that happen in the woods and coming up there and all, and got pictures to show it. So thank you, Bobby Graham. All right, now we're going to, one of the things we're talking about is springtime. Everybody's getting their boats ready and checking, and I checked the other day, and I checked my flares, and they were expired. So we brought them up here, and we're talking about one of the things when the flares expire. First of all, how important are the flares on a boat? Other than I know,
well,
legally,
they're required by 33 CFR 175 110. Requires that you have a flare kit if you're in access water that can access the open ocean. In other words, and it's more than a mile wide. You should have a flare kit.
That's all of our base systems. Basically,
all of our base systems,
and
anybody in the Gulf should have them. And of course, everybody said, "Well, I meet the letter of the law," but this is the minimum. This is the minimum. You got to have 3 of these. Well, there's 4 in a pack, but the key word there is minimum. They don't last that long when you use them. And if you ever read the back of this thing, it'll tell you how long the signal will hold up. I mean,
it's right there. That's 4 of them in there.
Yeah,
so.
and the thing is, they last about 30 seconds, for each flare. Now, that's not a lot of time to get somebody's attention.
I know.
And everybody thinks, well, you can see them a long way away. No, if you're much over a mile away, you're not going to see this thing unless you really have good eyes.
I've always thought it'd be a bad situation. I always thought about this around July 4th. If you having boat trouble on July 4th night and all the fireworks going off, you send up a flare. You up the creek. I've always thought about that.
Yeah.
Just don't get in trouble on July 4th night.
Or New Year's. Yeah.
Exactly, New Year's.
Those are 2 bad days to get in trouble out there and have to use a flare kit.
Yeah. But anyway, when you finish with them and all, and when they're expired, now what's a proper way to dispose of them?
Well, these are considered hazardous materials, so you would want to ask the fire department or the Coast Guard who to get them to. Probably the fire department would take them and dispose of them for you. That would be the smart way to approach it. The other thing is you can keep them for a while. They're only good for 42 months from date of manufacture, but some work, and of course they expire. They're good for 3 years, is what it says. Okay. And you got a total right here. You got 4 in this pack, and in this pack you got 12 minutes of signaling to somebody total. So that's not a lot of time. Not a lot of time to try to get somebody's attention. So you want to make sure there's somebody in sight of you before you even use them.
Yeah.
Don't just put it off because you can't. One other thing I'd like to do, if we could, I'd like to show that flyer on this. If you can put it up where they can see
Okay, we will in a second. We'll come back. But right now on the flare, I was going to mention too, a lot of times when people get in trouble, we had a boat off Cape San Blas about a month ago that got in trouble and the boat sank. They were able to use their cell phone.
Right.
Fortunately, but a lot of times you're going to go down so quick you're not going to get a chance. But they'd call in ahead. They knew they were having trouble ahead of time. That's
so
the point I want to bring
talk.
up. They anticipated that boat was going down.
Now, we'll mention one other thing. You mentioned cell phone. Cell phones are a good backup, but the best way is a VHF radio if you got one, because the thing about when you get on the radio, everybody in line of sight within about 20 to 30 miles of you hears that call if they got a radio.
Well, but this, I think, as I think back on, I think this might have been a satellite phone. It was not a cell phone. It was a satellite phone.
And if they didn't have the VHF, the next best thing is cell phone. But the only person that hears you on that cell phone is the person on the other end of the line.
Yeah.
And if you're way offshore, you don't have any towers here.
This particular guy had called his wife on a satellite phone, and I don't know if they ever sent out a mayday, but she's the one that had alerted
the authorities and let them know where he was and all.
And
that's better than nothing, as they say, by far. Water's cold out there still, and you don't want to be in the water very long out there. You won't survive. We have a saying in the maritime that 50-degree water, a 50-year-old man has a chance of lasting for 50 minutes or swimming 50 yards.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
You're not going to go very far before your body temperature drops, the core temperature drops enough to put you in hypothermia.
Yeah. All right, let's take our final break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the final segment of Panhandle Outdoors. Appreciate you watching us here with Captain Rick Corley. But first, let's get our fishing game forecast brought to us by Mark Howard of Edgewater Beach Realty at 832-6000. Give Mark a call. He's had some good results off of doing the spot here on Panhandle Outdoors. Our times are 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock this morning, this afternoon, 2:26 to 4:26. It'll be a little windy and all, and water's going to be high, but if you get a chance now, that'd be a good time to catch some of those Spanish mackerel and sheephead. All right, Ricky wanted to mention this one more time, and then I've got a good email I want to read from a viewer. We'll just try to get this is really important for those people that do this kind of stuff, that you get registered and you get this information.
Yeah.
And
if you notice the phone number there is 410-990-4460 extension 101. Or you can email sbrown@abycinc.org. And that's the way you can register with ABYC.
All right.
This is probably one of the best courses that we've put together in this area for people that do repair facilities for vessels.
Okay, and that's good. We'll keep y'all posted on that too. Let's move this on to this email. Hey, Winston, hello from Pine Mountain, Georgia. First of all, I want to tell you how much I enjoy the show, and thanks for uploading it to YouTube. Thank you, Jeff. I watch every episode because it keeps us Georgia boys in touch with the salt water. I love fishing down there, and I try to come every chance I get. I'm coming to Cape San Blas this coming Thursday, and was hoping you could give me some pointers on surf fishing there. I'm going to leave my boat home this time, and will be strictly fishing from the surf. I fished St. Joe Bay a few times, but never have surf fished. I hope to catch a pompano or two. What color jigs you recommend? I will have my tackle box full of inshore stuff, I'm going to bring my boat down. Also, Apalachicola in about 3 weeks. I have my boat. But what I want to know now, I've got some gotchas for Spanish and some inshore stuff, but I'm lost on target and pompano. Any tips or info would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Jacob Parker. Jacob, and I emailed him back last night, but I just want to share that with you. I mentioned the colors of these pompano jigs and what you can do. There's different colors and all. Let's see, have that stand right there, Rick. I'll put them on the stand. The different colors on the stand right here. I like the jig head, I like for it to be sand colored, okay? Mm-hmm. This is Sonoma here, but I also like that pink in it. This is a pink one.
It looks kind of like a shrimp.
Exactly. And the other color I like, okay, right here, I like, see that orange and all that mixed in with that yellow? But those are the jigs I like to use right there, those two colors, Jacob. And there's a young man named Connor out of Mobile, Alabama, that's customized jig heads and different colors and all, and I've seen them. They have them at Blue Water. So I told Jacob last night in an email to run by Blue Water and pick up some of those Connor jigs. But the best bait, of course, of all, it would be sand fleas. If you get some live sand fleas, and if you can't get any, then fresh peeled shrimp, and then jigs. All three of those. But the timing, like you say, still might be a week or two early, so don't get disappointed if you don't catch but one or two. But I've only heard of one person along the whole Panhandle that limited out, and that was on a jetty Sunday afternoon, and and we know that he got a few right there, but that's everybody else is getting 1 or 2, but nothing big. So run by Blue Water and talk to them. The local tackle shop is really good. All right, Rick, we got a couple of minutes left now. What would you like to close in?
Well, I want to remind these people on this class, one quick, we don't have but a few openings left. They won't allow more than 25 in the class. So if you're interested, you can call me, or you can get up with Sandy Brown up there at ABYC, and we'd love to have you there. It's going to be a great course. The other place, you can go right across the street during lunch. They have a place over there called McGuire's Irish Pub that has the best food in Destin.
You always got to scout out the food when you
go.
Yeah.
I didn't get this way by accident. It was planned.
Anytime you go out of town, you got to scout out the food.
Oh, yeah.
That's always one of the fun things about a trip.
That's a great place to eat.
Okay, what about on people's boats and all? We want to talk about the gas and all. Make sure to change the gas on.
Yep, and if you've got some old gas, at least get you some Stabil or something of that nature to stabilize your gas before you go out and try to use it, because otherwise you're going to have a problem. And folks, I can't remind you enough, don't use ethanol. It's nasty and outboards. It'll ruin them.
Yeah. I think we've done a good job, everybody, talking to each other and all, to get people educated about ethanol gas.
Yeah, regular gas is what you want to use in the boat. Yeah,
people come in from out of town, they may not know it, but a lot of locals, they will not touch it now, and that's good, and spread the word. One thing also now, if you get a chance, like I say, add those additives to it. Now, what do you consider old gas? How many months old?
If you're going to store gas for a year, it gets old after that real quick. So
if you had it in at the end of last
if you had it last year, you need to add some stabilizer to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap it up as always, folks. We appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors, and this is important. Now we'll talk more about this conference workshop they're going to be having. And also, make sure you get everything lined up on your end, on your boat and all.
Yeah, next month we'll talk about the Grand Manam Adventure.
Yeah, we got some video on that, some good pictures Jeff has. Yeah. Okay? Rick, thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you.
You have a good day. Don't work too hard.
No.
All right. Folks, thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Do something good for somebody today, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.